Good evening, dear students of class 10th A and B. Today I am going to explain the ball poem by John Berryman. First of all, I would like to tell you about the poet. John Berryman was an American poet and a scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs. He also won the National Book Award. Dear students, the introduction of the poem. The poet John Berryman, through his poem, the ball poem, had described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Now, dear students, explanation of the poem. The first stanza. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What what is he to do? I saw it go. Merrily over there it is in the water. Dear students, now some difficult words. Merrily means cheerful. Bouncing means jumping up and down. The poet is talking about a boy who has lost his ball. He wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball. Further, he asks to himself that what this boy will do after losing his ball. The poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. He says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street. This means that when the ball escaped from boy's hand, it went into the street and later on it fell into the nearby river. Now, dear students, literary devices from the first stanza. The first literary device is anaphora, use of repeated words in two or more lines. What is the boy? What? This is the example of anaphora. Again, I would like to explain the definition of anaphora. When the same word repeated consecutive two or more lines, then it is anaphora. And what has been repeated 3 times. Now, dear students, the second literary device, assonance, ASSONANC, repeated use of vowel sound. O, boy now who lost. In these words, O sound is repeated 4 times. So here, assonance. Now, dear students, imagery. The third poetic device is imagery. Imagery is a figure of speech when poet says merrily bouncing down the street. Then it creates the image of the ball when it was bouncing down the street. Now, dear students, the last poetic device of the first stanza, repetition. What is repeated 3 times. Now, the second stanza, dear students, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him, and a dime, another ball, is worthless now. He senses first responsibility. Now, some difficult words, dear students. Grief means sorrow, rigid means fixed, trembling means shaking, कांपता हुआ, harbor means dock, port. Intrude means invader, the person who enter stealthily. Dime, it is a lowest currency of US, 10 cents, and worthless means valueless. Explanation, the second stanza, dear students. The poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy. उसको सांत्वना देने से कोई लाभ नहीं है. By saying that he will get another ball because he has other balls too. He said so because the boy is feeling very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He is sad because all the memories of the childhood days went down the harbor with the ball. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad at the ball which has now gone into the water. Reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it, when he was owner of this ball. This loss is unbearable, untolerable for him, and he is grief stricken. The boy is grief stricken. The poet says that he can't even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belonging to the boy. पोएट कहता है कि सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग का लॉस हुआ है, बॉल का लॉस नहीं हुआ है. Further, the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his things. Now, some literary devices, dear students. Repetition, use of word ball, that is example of repetition. Now the third stanza, dear students. In a world of possessions, people will take balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Now, some difficult words, dear students. Possession means ownership. External means here things which feelings are not attached. Desperate means hopeless. Epistemology means Greek word. Episteme means knowledge. Explanation, here the poet says that the boy has to learn that in his materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. He personifies the ball as his belongings, be it the worldly thing or the relationship he is in possession of. So he says that he has to learn to live without them, no matter what they are. He says no one can buy back such things for him. The poet said so because according to him, money cannot buy you everything. If it does not, if it does buy you some materialistic thing, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. He says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost things, This means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his or her life. The harsh truth of standing up against the old miseries of life, strange miseries of life, that everyone has to bear, everyone has to tolerate. Now, in this stanza, literary devices, dear students, alliteration, use of sound B at the start of two conjugative words. Example, buys a ball back. Now, second literary device, assonance, use of vowel sound E. Example, he is learning well behind his desperate eyes. This is the example of assonance. Repetition, ball word is repeated. Now, this is the complete explanation of this poem, the ball poem, dear students. And I think you must listen this explanation again and again, and you must learn the literary devices too. So thank you, dear students. Good night, all of you. Thank you for listening.